Сейчас ты в этой, поэтому не так страшно. Ты живой. You're alive.
Что?
Окей. Так, выйти в эфир.
Ой, что? Из будущего. Из прошлого. Да, Любуши, да, мы пришли на урок. Pirkey Avot.
Why we need Rav, friend, and positive thinking?
Why we need your screen?
Из карандаш?
Нет.
Вот так.
Можно.
So, this time we learned first Mishnah, second, and third. Today we will learn a fourth Mishnah. Yossi ben Yoezer is Tzreida, ויוסי ben יוחנן איש ירושלים קיבלו מהם. יוסי ben Yoezer איש Tzreida אומר, יהיה ביתך בית ועד לחכמים, והווה מתאבק בעפר רגליהם, והווה שותה בצמא את דבריהם. So before the rabbi's time, there is no rabbi here for now. It's interesting. Yossi ben Yoezer, he wasn't rabbi. He was Ish Tzreida. He lived in Tzreida. Maybe he was the major of this city. Yossi ben Yochanan Ish Yerushalayim. Yossi ben Yochanan, he is also not a rabbi. He lived in Jerusalem. Maybe he was an important person in Jerusalem. So they accepted the tradition, most likely, from a previous people, right? So this Mishnah will tell us the saying of the first of them, and the second Mishnah, Mishnah 5, will tell us the saying of the second of them. It's called Zugot, pairs. This is the period of pairs. It's at the end of Anshe Knesset Gdola and before Tanaim, or the beginning of Tanaim, there was pairs. Why pairs? Because in Sanhedrin there is one person that is in the head of Sanhedrin. It's called Nasi, and also there is like his assistant, maybe. It's called Av Beit Din. So when we're talking about Zugot, pairs, first Chacham, not Rabbi, first of them is Nasi, and second is Av Beit Din. So let's read what the first of them said. יוסי ben Yoezer איש צרדה אומר, יהיה ביתך בית ועד לחכמים. Usually every saying in Pirkey Avot contains the three parts, usually. So here is also first part, יהיה ביתך בית ועד לחכמים. Your home should be a home where wise men are coming and they discussing something together. Beit Vad. Second, והווה מתאבק בעפר רגליהם. It's also about Chachamim, that how you should approach the wise men you should be in the dust of their legs. What it means? Usually it means that when a person walks on the sand, so there is a dust behind him. So if someone walks behind him, he is covered with his dust. So it means that you should follow the Chachamim, right? The wise men. And the third part that said, Yosef ben Yoezer, "Vayave shote b'tzama et divrichem." It's not enough that Chachamim, the wise man, will be at your home, at your house, and it's not enough that you walk after them, that you follow the wise men, but also you need to listen what they say and not just listen, like formally listen to give them respect. It's not enough. You should shote batzama. Shote batzama means drink with thirst. Like this. Why it is important? Because if someone just listens, just to give respect, and what he hears is not affect him that much. But if you strive to know something new and to learn from the wise men, so you will listen to them very carefully, right? So that's the three things. About Chachamim, right? Why it is important, maybe we can discuss it a little bit. To be close with Chachamim. They should enter your house. Maybe it was taught in the time when it was dangerous to learn Torah, in the time of Greece, maybe Roman times. It was about 200-300 years before our count. So the Chazal, Chachamim, they wanted to learn, to discuss, to meet at some place, but it was hard for them to find a safe place. So you, if you have the house, you should offer them the house that they will come to your house. And mainly it's talking about how you approach this, how you see this, because if you want to learn from them, you'll organize their meeting at your house. And the second part is tells how you learn from the wise men. It's not only that you come to lesson, to lecture, to hear what they say, but also in the practice, you should learn from the practice how they go to shop, how they talk to their family, how they behave, and that's how you learn wise things. And the second, the third, of course, is about what they say.
Yes, about how it goes, wise men.
Yes, sages. Oh, yeah. Usually when translate in the Torah, talking about the sages.
Yes,
Sage, it's more like zkenim, right? Old, wise person. I wanted to discuss a little bit because we have like a lot of books, right? So if we want to accept knowledge, to know something, we can just open the book and read, right? So why do we need to learn from a person, and why it is not enough to learn from the book?
Because it's theory and practice, yes?
Theory and practice. Not exactly. I mean, I can go to a lecture and listen to someone, and he will tell me his theory, how I should do, or how should everyone do.
And also, that's interesting that in our books we can read not only theory, it's like it's practice about practice, yes, but if you can do it or you didn't do it. You don't know how do correctly and with all your soul, with your heart.
It's interesting because
with consciousness.
Because when we continue the generations, there are more and more books. So you can read more and more details about the laws. And theoretically, there is a rough Google and rabbits in Wikipedia. And also now people quote Chat GPT also knows a lot. So that's a question, why do we need rabbis and sages?
Because we can't believe.
Oh, believe.
It's about it's called
Not know, but to believe.
Yes, we can't believe because it's like if you want to ask a rabbi, you can't believe each. Or you need to choose, you need to know, and etc.
Interesting, maybe.
Yeah, we can't believe rough Google. Oh, yes, it's about theory. We can research something and maybe how to сравнить. Compare something, and but we can believe.
So when we learn from person, he teaches us his belief, and we can follow his beliefs. That's the idea. Maybe. Good point. I wanted to say about the wisdom. When we're talking about the wisdom, it's very hard to put it in words. When we read books, you can learn laws, but it's hard to learn the wisdom. For example, in every situation, which law you should apply, law X or law Z or law Y. It's hard to know, to understand in every situation, and it's hard to give instructions in every situation. So when, because every day you can meet a new situation.
When we can be close and closer with wise men, yes, it can be good for us because it's about behavior.
Behavior.
Yes, behavior.
Yeah, you said it. Okay.
Yes.
So what I wanted to say is about wisdom, that if we want to learn wisdom, we can learn it mainly from the living man, living person, and not from the text, from the book. And the book is more like a knowledge, flat knowledge. It's hard to feel the deep wisdom.
It's very important for me now to think about one thing about it's when I can come here in your lesson. This context, it's a place and space for thinking and discussing and new ideas. And I have now a new idea about it, but I forget. Okay, yes.
Okay.
I will say that maybe later a little.
So it's interesting to compare what the first one of the pair said and the second. So the first one, we're talking about the sages, the wise men. How should we approach them? And the second, he doesn't talk about it at all. He talks about something different topic.
Yes. It's about wisdom in general. Yes. What is it, wisdom? Yes.
Good question.
Yes, it's when we want to learn something or research or when we want to
understand.
Yes, thank you. Whatever. Yes, We need to know what it means. Yes, what it means, and what is it wisdom? I think it's about when you can. It's about, for example, we can talk about behavior about life and about our actions, deals, yes. And you have wisdom when you can, how it goes, спрогнозировать. Prognose, you can prognose.
To know about the future.
And your action,
right.
your action will be with this prognose.
Oh.
It's wisdom.
Is חכם יודע נולד.
Yes, because you know a system of life, and you know your pluses and minuses, and you know your risks. Yes, you know this. Your person, your adult person, house. Because you know everything about you. You know a little bit the system of life. You have Baruch Hashem Torah. Yes, and the wisdom, it's when you can prognose if you do
and act according
now,
to
yes,
future.
What it will be in future. It's wisdom when you can do this action with your and you can prepare, or you can have a BC. It's something to. It's how
to evaluate.
Evaluate, yes. It's wisdom. And this your lesson. It's context for this idea. You know. Thank you. That's interesting.
Okay. So the next Mishnah is the second of the pair, Yosef ben Yochanan ish Yerushalayim. Interesting that the second was at Jerusalem and the first one wasn't in Jerusalem. Jerusalem today is something important. And here is in the second place. Also three things. And it's more about the house, your house, how you should approach to your home. The first thing he says that your house should be wide open. The second thing that he says is a follow-up, that poor people that are in need, they should be bnei beitach, they should live at your home. And the third thing that he says, it's very famous. You should not talk a lot with the woman or a woman. There's no a in Hebrew. There is a hey idea. По-русски нет артикля определенного, правильно? Вот, но,
может быть, там какой-то можно... Ну, нет определенного.
На иврите есть артикль и на английском, но на английском есть определенный the woman, а есть неопределенный a woman. На иврите гайша только есть определенный, нет. So the woman. So what is the woman? It's his wife most likely. So the three things is connecting.
Well. Yes. Okay.
The man, he wants to open the door, and then how you say it? Homeless, right? And the homeless will come in. Homeless people that live at street.
Homeless.
In Hebrew, they say homeless. And then his wife most likely react negatively to this, right? He will not like it. So that's why he says, you should not talk too much with your wife, because most likely she will say that you should close the door so that homeless will not come in, right? Because the house That's how it was, at least before. The house is more important to woman than for a man, right? Because the man, he seeks for resources, he goes out of the house, and most of the day he's not at home, right? But the woman, he is more with the children at home, so for her is more important what happens inside, right?
That's right.
That's how the life works.
It's about balance.
I mean, it before it was a very hard definition that we said, but today is more flexible, right?
Yeah.
Because there is like children garden, kindergarten, nannies. Interesting. And how we should approach to women, it's very hard topic here. And the Mishnah continues it. So mainly it ends here to despair, and we could go to another pair, but here Mishnah, the author of the Mishnah, adding details about the woman. באשתו אמרו, קל וחומר ואשת חברו. So Yosef ben Yochanan Ish Yerushalayim, he was talking about your house and your wife. So when you want to that there will be a lot of guests and poor guests that maybe they don't smell good or doesn't look good. So if you talk too much with your wife, she will convince you that you should not invite them. So that's why he said that you should not talk too much with your wife. So the Mishnah continues, so it he said about your wife. So, and when we're talking about the wife of someone else, so you should be even more cautious about it and not talk too much with the wife of another person, right? Why?
Why? Because it's what's the goal?
What's the goal? What we are afraid of? Maybe about the jealousy that
jealousy and
the man, he wants. At least it was before 2,000 years. He wants to feel that this is his wife, right? So if if another man talks with his wife, so he could begin to nervous, right?
Yeah. And also, if we talk about dialogue and talks, if it's more than maybe 10, 15 minutes and without goal, it's it's empty time. You will. It's for sure you will talk about people, about something. I don't know. Something. Yes, it's just a practice.
You should leave these talks to women, not to men.
Also with men, maybe it depends on men. Yes. Right.
Yeah. So the way we describe it, maybe it's not relevant today in that sense how it was before, because people are more open to communicate and the women are more open now. מכאן אמרו חכמים כל המרבה שיחה עם האישה וגורם רעה לעצמו ובוטל מדברי תורה בסופו יורש גיהינום. So here's a very harsh words. From here the sage told us, so everyone that talks a lot or too much with the woman גורם רעה לעצמו. He because of that the bad things comes to him. Need to understand which bad things and why they comes. ובוטל מדברי Torah. So when he talks about women, now today women also learn, but before 2,000 years before, the women, they weren't learning too much as today. So when the person was talking to women, he wasn't talking about Torah. He was talking about technical things So if he talk too much, so it's bad because he should talk about the wisdom and not about techniques.
Also, it's.
Ты дать конструктор, где конструктор?
А вот он получится.
So at the end, this person should not go to Gan Eden, but he would go to Genom. Why? Also, we need to understand. Maybe because he didn't learn Torah. We should think about it. So here's like the Gorem Ra La'atzmo, it's the first, that bad things come to him, and he doesn't learn Torah, and he ends up in Genom. What's the connection between those things?
Yes, I have one idea about it. Maybe it's also depends of women and men. It's they can мешать друг другу. It's about also you can't be in long learning education just with your wife. Yes, and also with your wife, how long you can do it? Yes, you can do it in long time. Yes, it's not a problem. I want to say about some maybe. Yes, it's just something biological maybe. They can мешать, как мешать друг другу могут сбивать стол, скажем так, потому что это мужчина.
So there is a style, the style of man, how he talks and how he does things, and there is a style of woman, how she does things and how she talks. So it's hard to combine two things together, at least for a long time.
And also in other in one hand как-то очень с другой стороны. It's a good opportunity for new ideas because it can be different views. Yes. And what the summary, learning Torah with your wife, it's a very good thing.
So that's the question. And different, you said different.
But in general,
different is good or different is bad? So the classical, the old-fashioned view is that different is bad, because there is the right understanding, and there is the other understanding which is not right. So so you're right, because we're talking about marbe when he talks too much. It's not problem to talk with the woman or with the wife, right? All we're talking about is when there is too much talking, right? גורם לה לעצמו בטל מדברי תורה, בסופו ירגש גיהינם. So the classic commentary here, also in Russian, they write it. I read it in Bartanura before, Biovadia. So when the man at the morning he goes out, and then after at the end of the day he comes back to home, so he might tell her wife what happened to him in the middle of the day.
What happened
to him?
What happened to him?
So he could tell that he argued with someone, or he had a conflict with someone. So when he tells this, for example, that someone humiliated him, so his wife, he would honor him less after these talkings, right? That's the classic commentary.
But it's not.
Because the wife is like the person that the man could open to, right? He could talk too much.
No, this idea.
Unlike other men, like with other men, I'm ashamed to tell them that I argued with someone or someone humiliated me. But with my wife, I can tell it because I trust her more than others. From one hand, but from the other hand, if I talk bad things about me to my wife, then she will think about me as a weak person, right? For example, and it is bad.
If someone will.
If I, for example, I can tell my wife that I missed the bus today, right? So he will think that I'm not organized enough, right? So that's bad because she wants to see her husband as a force, a strong power, right?
I think that more important that yes, that's right. It can be the yes, yes, but also it's very important to just when husband knows that his wife just that he can just be at home like a person just with all his things,
weakness,
problems and weakness. Yes, it can be. Maybe it's that's right. That that's better if husband don't tell about all the details. Yes, but in the fact, it's normal. Yes, and I think that it's very important if he knows it, that he can be just a person, because it's.
We need to understand how the relations was back then, 2,000 years ago. We can see this in movies about Japan or China, when the woman is very silent and afraid to do something, and the man he shows power and confident, and all he says should respect everyone.
Oh, it's a frame.
So we need to understand the context. Mishnah doesn't talk about today for sure.
Yes. And when women want to, that's interesting also about wives who want to maybe improve their relationships, and can tell for someone, oh, I want, but it's no, something like this. But
Mishnah doesn't talk about the woman, how women should talk to men. Mishnah talks about the man, how the man should talk to women.
And now I had one idea about it. It's about it's also important to thinking about men, about his things and attitudes and else.
his needs.
Yes, because it's normal that in our society it's about women. Everyone knows that women need this one and cry and tell something, and they can be very talk
Too much.
too much. Yes, but it's a strong frame from our history about that men need to be strong and very small. Not talk a lot, but it's myth. It's a frame. It's not realistic, and it's one of the reason. Yes, it's one
Illusion.
of the reason of
Reason?
that in if we can see statistics of her heart illness, Holocaust. And for men in statistics, it's more men's more.
Statistics.
Да,
You should be careful with
это
statistics.
очень in medicine. It's like you know it. Yes, it's about мужчины больше подвержены сердечно-сосудистым заболеваниям, инфарктам и так далее. И это
Потому что они более активны социально.
Да,
меньше сидят дома. Больше стресс. Ну, конечно. А к чему это ты говоришь?
Ну, это к тому, что про выражение стресса, про то, что многие не понимают,
объясняешь,
много
что
мужчины несут на себе.
Ты объясняешь, что то, что он много хочет рассказать, это объективно у этого есть причина.
Есть, да.
Ну,
то,
хорошо.
что это нужно говорить, но мужчины очень много держат в себе. У них много очень ответственности, стресса, и это, в общем... Но многие общества из истории следует, что все ждут вот этого от мужчины, что он такой сильный, что он такой вот все, эмоции и так далее, но у этого тоже есть свои последствия, поэтому как бы важно.
Так что ты говоришь, что нужно говорить жене все подряд?
Нет, все не нужно.
Ну, так, а что ты говоришь?
Ну, вот хотела добавить.
Ну, ты добавила. Интересный факт, funny fact.
Да. Ну, то, что про чувства женщин говорят, а про чувства мужчин мало говорят. Хотя они тоже есть, и они важны.
Здесь мы говорим про то, как мужчина должен относиться к своей жене. И в расчет берется то, как его жена будет относиться к нему, исходя из его поступков. То есть в контексте патриархального общества главный действующий здесь мужчина, а женщина, она как бы вторичная. Вопрос, как с ней иметь дело.
У меня сразу начинает плыть. Мы перешли на русский.
Ты перешла на русский,
да,
потому что та мысль, которую ты хотела сказать, она слишком сложна для этого примитивного английского языка. Okay, Mishnah Vav. Yoshua ben Paracha v'nitai arbelik blumem. Also, there is no rabbis here. I noticed it. Yoshua ben Paracha Omer. So the next zug, the next pair, is Yoshua ben Paracha and Nitai Harbeli. They accepted the tradition, the Torah from the previous pair. Yoshua ben Paracha Omer. עשה לך רב וקנה לך חבר ויהווה דן את כל האדם לכף זכות. ניתאי ארבלי אומר, הרחק משכן רע ואל תתחבר לרשע ולהתייאש מן הפורענות. So, Yoshua ben Paracha says, עשה לך רב. You should make or appoint to yourself a Rav. Rav is like the master, the teacher. You should have a teacher, basically, right? So, talking about the wisdom, right? It's not enough that you learn from the books. You should also have a teacher that teaches you. Ukne lecha chaver, and you should acquire, buy chaver. It's like a friend, a companion. Ve'aveh down et kol adam lekav zchut, and you should. When you talk about someone, you should then you should talk about him becomes what positive things and not negative things, right? What's the common thing with these three? First two is similar. You should have a teacher and a friend. But how the third is connected to the first two? That you should think or tell about any person lekav zchut. It means when you have a doubt, when you're not sure that someone did something, right? And you should comment this, that it's a bad thing or it's a good thing. It's hard to decide sometimes, right? So the Mishnah says that you should decide that this is good and not bad when there is when you're not sure. So how the third connected to first two? And why people judge others badly and not good? Judge, Dan, Dayan. Beidin. Why someone could judge others bad and not good?
What's the question? Yes.
What is the reason? You're a coach, you should know.
В чем вопрос, почему воровать плохо?
Judge.
Judge, это что?
Judge это судить.
Судить. Can you repeat the question?
והרי דן את כל אדם לקו זכות. So Mishnah says that when you think about someone or talk about someone and you are not sure they did a bad thing or a good, you should consider that it is good. So the question is, why someone could consider that it is bad?
Yes, because we can know all the situation of life of this person. We can know all the reasons.
What are you explaining?
Why it's bad to judge?
Why it's bad to judge? We're not talking about it's good to judge people or it's bad to judge people. We're talking about people that thinking about people, other people, and talking about people. That's what's happening. And they're judging. So the question is how they judge other people. They judge too good or they judge too bad, right? So Mishnah tells us that you should judge too good. So I asked why some people judge others badly.
Because it can maybe it can be in a few and more reasons can be. The first one is about the feelings in slow vibrations. You know, it's like ревность, зависть, и так далее.
Bad emotions, jealousy, hate,
and then in как сказать, в корне, in
source, не знаю, источник.
The bigger reason of it is inside in person. When person don't like themselves, it's when,
interesting.
Also, if he can be
so when someone have a teacher and when someone have a friend, so he thinks good about himself, right?
And teacher, it's
That's how it's connected.
also about example. You can see. You
good.
don't. It's not just about a theory goals. You can see example. It's like visualization and something like it. And about to charge in a better side. Yes.
Charge?
No, charge. How it goes? Judge.
Judge?
Judge. Yes, it's also can be about if person can't be honest with themselves. If you can't be honest with your soul, your things, it's you will think about others bad, but you want something like this, like it, and it's like a mirror. You want it, but you can't
realize it.
Yes, and you can't realize it. It can be something bad. It can be something bad, but maybe you have some needs about it. Maybe not correctly their точности.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly like it, but maybe you need something about it. But you can be honest with your needs. And you want it, you see it, and you thinking about it, it's very bad, how it can be. It's not normal. It's and then, but it's it's all about you, and it's all about your fears and maybe your needs and something else about your life, and it's all about. It's like a signal from God for us. It's all about your development. When you see it and when you feel something bright feelings about some person, you can use this signal from God. Yes.
Someone doesn't have a teacher and someone doesn't have a friend, it means that they are alone. They are lonely. So the person that are lonely and doesn't contact others, so they tend to think bad about other people.
Very interesting. But the first I want to tell you, thank you for your patience. You hear me. Yes, and all my details what I want to say. Yes, and about friend and teacher, it's very close thing.
Close?
If you want to looking for teacher, you can use their шаблон, либо критерии. В общем, найти учителя – это похоже как друга.
Похоже?
Yeah. If someone has interest for you and can hear you and can believe for you in your potential, yes, he can be your teacher. Yes.
Okay, so we could end here. Entire Beli, it says about other things. So the first one, Yoshua ben Pachia, it says about connecting to people, and the other, Entire Beli, says about not connecting to certain people. So we will learn it next time. So tomorrow, Kabbalat Shabbat is at 6. Okay.
Thanks for watching and here. Yes, we want to say goodbye and Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. See you. You can write your questions. Bye-bye.
Shabbat Shalom.